relationship where a man is going to risk correcting an attractive woman. Because when y'all just dating and y'all just sleeping around, he's like, I ain't going to do nothing that's going to stop me from getting in those panties, so I'm going to tell her what she wants to hear. Once you
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. So Amanda Seales was on Club Shay Shay with Shannon and she blasted FS1's Emmanuel Acho for his recent comment on Angel Reese. After talking about Candace Owens, Shannon brought up Angel Reese getting criticized for crying as she discussed being a victim of online bullying during her final post-game press conference with LSU. Remember, Shannon was Acho's colleague at FS1 until he parted ways with Skip Bayless and Undisputed. Acho was even considered as an early candidate to replace Shannon on Undisputed before FS1 opted to pair. So the take Amanda Seales is referring to came earlier this month when Acho responded to Angel Reese's tearful press conference by offering what he considered to be a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. So that we're all on the same page, let's listen.
People like, I was trying to invalidate her experience. No, I wasn't. It's the same thing I told Monique when Monique said, I was trying to get this role and Oprah told me to go blah, blah, blah for, right? And she ended up getting the role. I said, well, Monique, did you ever think that they were looking for a black heavyset woman and you two were probably the only two in Hollywood? And she said, oh, okay, that makes sense. Right. And so when she said the white lady had her teacher, I said, Amanda, did it ever cross your mind that, I don't know where you from, but where I grew up, Ocho, kids never corrected a parent or an adult.
Corrected?
Yes. And that's what I said. I said, Amanda, did you think maybe because you were a child, even though you were right, the mere fact that a child corrected an adult. Now, maybe in today's time, that's fine. Maybe where in some place you grew up, but I don't ever remember being in a situation, a child couldn't even interrupt an adult conversation. You couldn't pull on your parents or your grandparents' leg and say, hey. I'm like, huh? No. So that's what I was saying. I said, maybe Amanda, it wasn't racism. Maybe it was the fact that a child was correcting an adult. But that was her experience. That's what, and like I said, I mean, that's how she felt about it. But I
just got a hat tip, Shannon Sharpe, and I can't believe that I'm here. I've been critical of Shannon Sharpe, but I like Club Shay Shay. I like Nightcap. A lot of times he makes points that I have to agree with, and I have to give him credit for having a pair to state these things, but there's a different way to look at these things. And so the number one thing I just think about is like, this is an uncovered woman, 42, single. I'm not sure if she's ever been married. And so she's never had a man in her, because again, it takes a marriage and that type of relationship, a really deep relationship, where a man is going to risk correcting an attractive woman. Because when y'all just dating and y'all just sleeping around, he's like, I ain't going to do nothing that's going to stop me from getting in those panties, so I'm going to tell her what she wants to hear. Once you get into a marriage or a deep relationship, it's like, hold on, man, this woman got my kids. She got access to my money. I got to tell this woman the truth. And I have to occasionally correct her. And that's what I'm seeing from Shannon Sharpe here. And I got to hat tip the man that he's willing to do that and just model that type of behavior. But this is an uncovered woman who's never having her thoughts challenged. Everybody's, whatever her narrative is, whatever she feels. Well, I was correcting this white woman and she got upset because I'm black. No, she got upset because you're a child. And there's a lot of people that come from a background like a child knows its place and, let the adults handle this and you pipe down.
I recently was diagnosed as someone who has autism spectrum disorder, which is very difficult to identify in Black women because of racism.
So what exactly is autism spectrum? Because I hear people say you're on the spectrum.
It used to be called Asperger's.
Okay.
But that is no longer what it's called because to my knowledge, Asperger was a Nazi.
Okay.
But what it simply means is that your brain functions in a different way. So you're neurodivergent, and you also have certain tendencies that are considered outside of what the neurotypical way of things is.
Okay.
And a lot of times that can have you present in a manner that people misrepresent.
Okay. Okay.
Which is the story of my life.
Okay.
And so when all of this started ballooning out of nowhere and people were saying, you're unlikable and you're a bully. No, not you're a bully, but you're being bullied. And these were tropes that have been associated with me before, but I'm in a new level of visibility at this juncture. Mm-hmm. And you get people saying things like, you are difficult, you are mean, you are nasty, and you know that you're none of these things.
Right.
But they're attributing it to things that are not actually action-based. Like, I don't cheat people. I don't lie to people. I don't stab people in the back. I don't operate in mendacity. I am not duplicitous. I don't do none of this shit. But I have a certain tone about how I speak. And that makes people feel like, oh, I'm mean, because something about the tone that I speak in doesn't make them feel a certain way. So
can I ask you this? Not to cut you off, but were they people that you had relationships with? Were this in the workplace that you became difficult, or this people that you just have general interactions with?
These aren't people I've met.
So it's
the people who are saying these things about me have never met me.
And that's impacting you?
Yes.
Shannon Sharpe was on it. Again, like, people you don't know nothing about, people that have no influence in your life, that's impacting you. Maybe you are on the spectrum, the idiot spectrum, but your thoughts.
Look, one of my daughters had a friend that had Asperger's or was on the spectrum since he was a Nazi or whatever. And this was the sweetest little girl. She's now a young adult. And this was never an excuse for her to just have a nasty disposition. I think Amanda refuses to accept any accountability. As we went through this entire interview, everything was somebody else's fault. She never took accountability and said, well, I could have done this different. I could have said this differently. I could have presented myself better. It's just, this is who I am. Take it. I got, autism spectrum. I'm very direct and blah. The nasty disposition that she even gave Shannon when he offered pushback or just challenged her a little bit, she's not even very familiar with him. So I can assure any man that would actually be willing to get into a relationship with her is signing his death certificate.
Sometimes, and it's happened before, people in our community forget that they're black. And they try to appease a group of people that's probably never going to embrace them. And once they realize that, guess who's the first group to take them back?
I don't know her.
I ain't say nobody's name, Amanda. You don't even know who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
How you know who I'm talking about? But we've seen this happen before. Rest his soul, O.J. Simpson. He had the famous quote, "I'm O.J., I ain't black." Even Michael Jackson went through what he went through, rest his soul.
Right.
Even Kanye had to be reminded. And now Miss Owens, I don't want no black pilots, I don't want this, I don't want that. And now we can't keep off our black media stations. When before she gave us her butt to kiss. Now, if I'm lying, if I'm speaking out of turn, people, y'all correct me. But y'all know I'm telling the truth. Now, you're talking about somebody that's always uplifted this community. And I was one of the first guys that had a viral moment with Cat Williams. And they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to attack me. But Candace has given y'all her butt to kiss for 2 decades. In the moment, what they doing? They can't fire me. They can't fire me. The hell you say? Now look at her.
It's not her fault.
Whose fault is it? Oh, no. Let's not take that blame.
Let her back in.
Huh?
The spaces that let her back in.
Oh, okay. But that's how we are. We're very forgiving people.
Who taught us to be that?
We do.
Who taught us that version of forgiveness? Do I need to do the lesson?
No, because I know.
Them slave owners taught us that version of forgiveness. They gave us a Bible called the Slave Bible. And this Bible had parts of it taken out. It had the parts of uprisings taken out. It taught about forgiveness because they needed to make it okay in their minds.
No matter how bad I treat you, at some point in time, I need you to forgive me for the wrongs I've done against you.
Babbling idiot who a babbling secular idiot, and is like has totally missed the entire point of forgiveness and just how fallen we all are, and how Jesus Christ died on that cross, forgiving all of our. Just a babbling idiot. This was, again, most of what Shannon did on this I liked. This was a bad moment. I don't even understand. I don't even understand why put her. She don't even know who Candace Owens is, and all this stuff about like they shouldn't allow her on these platforms. She should be canceled and unable to speak on the Breakfast Club or Joe Budden's podcast. They shouldn't allow that because she's got a different take on George Floyd.